Okay, sound check 3. Smoky Mountain against Beaver Creek. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. The Beaver Creek Beavers are battling for third place in the Miami Valley Freeze tournament today against the Smoky Mountain Wild. Good afternoon, everyone, from Hobart Arena in Troy, a historic venue built back in 1950. Welcome once again to Beaver Creek Battling Beavers hockey. The Beavers today playing a club team out of Knoxville, Tennessee called the Smoky Mountain Wild. And they have a number of players that are primarily from different high schools in the Knoxville area. Well, we had a very lively previous game in this tournament this morning against the Troy Bruins and the Toledo Whitmer team. The final score in over 2 periods of play was Troy Bruins 7 and Whitmer 1, and the game was forfeited in the third period. They only played 2 periods. I guess there were things that really gotten out of hand. There were a number of altercations. There were ejections. I heard as many, I think, as 5 players got ejected, and one coach from one of the teams, I believe from Whitmer, may have got ejected as well. I don't know if it was a head coach or an assistant coach, and they offered to have a running clock for the third period since it was 7-1, and there had been so much mischief going on. But they Whitmer people, I guess, decided just to call it and say we're going to go ahead and head on out of here. So unfortunately, that game was had some trouble. So the Troy Bruins finished 5th in the tournament. The Whitmer Panthers finished 6th, and this game is going to determine who finishes 3rd and 4th. The Beavers, of course, coached by Greg Gutterman, assistant coaches Brad Lloyd, Cam Quick, Pete Sandness, and Andrew Cruzy. The Smoky Mountain Wild are coached by Craig Oldfield. Assistant coaches are Dwayne Hart and Jeff Valentine. The Beavers come into this game with a record of 2 wins, 9 losses, and 2 ties. The Smoky Mountain Wild come in with a record of 2 wins, 18 losses, and 1 tie. Starting goaltender tonight for the Smoky Mountain Wild is Tanner Oldfield, while for the Beavers it will be Talon Patterson. The Beavers are in their road all black uniforms, and the Wild are in their light blue sweaters and black trunks. So we are set and ready to get underway. The Beavers are moving left to right in this first period. And starting at center ice will be Craig Newroth, and he will do battle with Bradley Hart. Puck is dropped. We're underway. Beavers win the opening draw, and here we go. Here comes J.P. Smith into the Wild zone shot. Oldfield turns that aside. Loose puck picked up by Newroth. Dumps it along the boards, gets it back. Tries to chip it over to Smith. It's intercepted, and the Wild start to come back. Jackson Scott into the Beaver zone. Drop pass in front, and one of the Wild players, that's Grace Stow, I believe, a young lady. She's up and on her feet. She slid hard into the end boards behind the Beaver net, but she's all right. Talon Patterson covers up the puck, and we'll have a face-off. And a Beaver, it's Chase Newroth, is going into the penalty box. Was that a trip or what? So a tripping minor on Chase Newroth. And the Wild have the first power play of the game. And that player that went down might have been Macy Schallenberger, not Grace Stow. I tried to catch the number, but I don't think it was Grace after all. Puck was cleared down the ice. After it is Roman Myers. He gets the puck from goalkeeper Oldfield, and up the ice come the Wild. There's a drop pass for Jackson Scott, and a shot is blocked wide of the Beaver net. There's a shot, and it's wide once again. Wild on a power play. Roman Myers. Rink wide pass over. There's a shot blocked. And then the puck pops over the glass. We'll have a face-off. Players to watch on this Wild team: Lyndon Valentine, number 9, Brad Hart, number 17, and Jackson Scott, number 18, are the
second penalty.
Oh, another penalty. This one's on
Cross-check.
a cross-check on Hayden Drake. Uh-oh. So the Wild have a 5-on-3 power play for another minute 17 from the draw. There's Myers, a shot, pad save by Patterson. Of course, players to watch on the Beaver team, and Chase Newroth is the leading scorer. And Matt Haywood. From the faceoff, Myers over to Scott. Now Scott drops it off to the far corner for Asher Knight. Knight drops it back to the point. Wild trying to set up a play. They have a two-man advantage. Or for this game, I should say two-person advantage since they have a couple of young ladies. There's a shot, and it's right on, and Talon Patterson will catch that one shoulder high and hold on to it. Scott wins the draw. Back to teammate Myers. Myers, rink-wide pass. Now it's dropped to the center point for Scott. Scott a shot and a pad save for Patterson. Rebound near boards. Back is looking for the puck at the center point was Knight. Knight drops it off to the left wing circle. Circling back was Riley Rains. Rains drops it back side of the net. A shot and a save. Another rebound is shot wide of the Beaver net. Now trying to chop it in front was Riley Rains, but it's cleared away. Out of the penalty box is Newroth. He tried to get a breakout, but he's checked by a couple of different Wild players. Wild still have a one-man advantage. Back to get the puck is Asher Knight. And the Wild in the light blue sweaters, black trunks. Pass up ahead, Luster drops it off to Jackson Hart, but the Wild are offside on the play at the Beaver Creek blue line. No score yet. Just a few seconds left in the penalty to Shotgun Drake. Beavers dump the puck down the ice. After get it, back to get it is Seth Kernhagen. Kernhagen pass at center, intercepted by Tyler Calander. He'll dump it right back behind the Wild net. Out of the box is Drake. So the Beavers kill off the 5-on-3 power play by the Wild. Still no score in this game. There's 11:20 left to go in period number 1. My name is Kent Jacobs, incidentally. I'm here with our producer, engineer Dave Vanden Moss, and Mike Scott is our camera operator this morning.
Looks like penalty on the Wild.
So now a Wild penalty coming up. Interference minor penalty. And that is on Elliot Christensen. So right away we can tell the officials are calling this tightly, especially after the madness of the previous game this morning. Here's Shotgun Drake, a blast, and he scores! Hayden Drake pulls out the howitzer and whistles one into the Wild net, and the Beavers lead it 1-0. And for Shotgun Drake, that is goal number 3 of the season. And that is a power play goal. And the Beavers lead 1-0. We'd like to welcome any Smoky Mountain folks. We have passed the word about our live stream. So it's Drake from Newroth on the goal. Puck cleared. I was going to say we welcome any Smoky Mountain folks that are watching. We encourage people, whether you're a Beaver fan or a Wild fan, to send a message in our chat, a live chat. All you have to do, I think, is press the subscribe button. There's, of course, no charge to do that. And you can get a chat in. Let us know where you're watching from. And here's Newroth, a shot, and he scores! Newroth got past, I believe it was Madison Rasigi out there, I think. And he was able to get past her and move in on right wing, and he quick wrist shot gives the Beavers a 2-0 lead. Loose puck, the Wild will start out now trailing 2-0. And as I was saying, send us a live chat and we'll read it at some point during the game, maybe during the end of the periods. Sometimes we'll get them in while the game is going on and the stoppage of play. But yeah, send us a message and we would be glad to read it over the air. Puck is dumped in the Beaver zone by Aiden Phelps. Beavers back to get it. Hayden Drake. Here comes the shotgun. Barreling through center. Gets a shot and it's wide. Puck is fought for along the far boards. And the Wild come back. Puck gets through a skate, picked up by Roman Myers. Myers checked. Loose puck along the near wall in the Wild zone, and back they come with it. Moving into the Beaver zone, here's Myers. Checked behind the net by Zach Brighting. Whistle. And I think the puck popped out of play. We do have a chat message from Tracy Coy. Hey, Tracy. He says, hey, Ken, it's Kyle Compton's birthday today, a Creek senior. Hey, Tracy, thank you very much, and happy birthday to Kyle Compton. Nice to hear that. Thanks for letting us know. From the face-off in the Beaver zone, shot blocked. Curve Miller clears, back to get it. For the Wild is Seth Kernhagen. He's checked. Loose puck, Zach Brighting. In his own zone, looking to start out. Carries over, gets past Asher Knight. Pass to center. Picked up by Curve Miller, but one of the Beavers is in offside. And we'll have a face-off. 8:33 to go first period. Beavers lead at 2-0 on goals by Drake and Newroth. Face-off outside the Wild zone, picked up by Drake of Beaver Creek. Hayden will flip it high behind the Wild net. Back to get it, Pernhagen. He's bumped off the puck. Drake picks it up, top of the slot, a shot! Over the crossbar. Getting a whack at it, and no goal. It's waved off. I think that Matthew Haywood thought he had one, but no goal on that play. And the face-off will be moved outside the Wild blue line. Newroth will face off against Jackson Scott, number 18. Newroth wins the draw. Drake dumps it in. Wild start to come back out of their zone. There's a shot wide of the net by Scott. Puck ricochets back to neutral ice. Back to get it. Grace Stow. S-T-O-U-G-H. Grace Stow. She clears to center. It's dumped right back in by Drake. Hayden Drake looking to center the puck. Here's a backhand chance by J.P. Smith that's wide. Loose puck now, Jackson Scott for the Wild. He'll dump it in the Beaver zone. From the end boards, a shot by Bradley Hart. And it's a save made by Talon Patterson. Talon Patterson coming into this game with a 1-1 record. Actually 1-1-1. Goals against 3.99 and a save percentage of 90%. Puck dumped behind the Beaver net. Brighting lost it. There's a chance in front for Roman Myers, but the Beavers come back with it. Here is a shot by the Beavers' Evan Schrader that's wide. 2-0 Beaver Creek. They're in the all black. We're down to 6:45 to go in period number 1. Here is Riley Raines for the Wild. Raines over to Myers into the Beaver zone. Roman Myers centers, but nobody was there in front for the Wild. The puck ricochets off the near boards to center. It's dumped right back in. Here is Jackson Scott trying to center the puck. It's deflected away. And here is Calander for Beaver Creek fighting with Riley Raines. Puck chips to center. Back to get it for Beaver Creek is Chase Newroth. His pass intended for Brighting is broken up. There's a shot by Zach Brighting. That's a save by the goalkeeper Oldfield. Calander's shot from the right point is blocked. Here's the Wild coming back. Right to left, it's Jackson Scott. And he gets a shot on net, and it's caught by Patterson. He'll hold on to it for a face-off. 5:39 to go in the first. 2-0 Beaver Creek. The championship game of this tournament comes up after this. We're not going to be carrying it, but it'll be the Troy Trojans against Springboro. Here's Chase Newroth clicking the puck away. He moves in on the Wild net, but his shot is up high. Here's a one-time blast by Drake, and it's right on, and Oldfield is able to catch that one. Like to see the shotgun with that one-time shot. Of course, one-time shots mean you don't stop the puck and set it up and shoot it. You just wind up and blast it right as it comes to you. Here's Drake Arister that's caught, and it's smothered by Oldfield, and he takes a jab at one of the Beaver players with his stick, saying, "Get out of my crease." They discuss it. They'll have a face-off in the left wing circle of the Wild zone. The Wild again out of Knoxville, Tennessee. There's a shot by Drake. Pad save Oldfield. Rebound. Puck was chucked back in after Seth McCracken cleared the puck. Wild trying to start back out. There's Scott dumping it in on goal, and Patterson will smother it. Face off in the Beaver zone. 4.5 to go in the period. Goals by Hayden Drake and Chase Newroth. For Drake, his third of the year, and for Newroth, his seventh. He leads the Beaver team. There's a pass in front, and a shot by Gabe Hansen is wide of the near post. He had a nice chance right in front. Wild come back. They leave the puck for Grace Stow, and it's dumped in the Beaver net, but over the glass. We'll have a face-off. The face-off, it'll be Elliot Christensen from Smoky Mountain. against Liam Corrigan of Beaver Creek. Beavers lead it 2-0. They're in the all black. From the face-off, Christensen dumps it in the corner. Beavers try to shovel it out to neutral ice. And it's poked right back in behind the Beaver net by the Wild. Pass over for Brighting, gets deflected away. After it, Elliot Christensen. Behind the net for Owen Addis. He's checked. Loose puck. Vandenboss tips it ahead. And it's dumped in by Curve Miller on goal. And Tanner Oldfield makes the stop. Teams change with a stoppage. 3:49 to play in the period. It'll be Jackson Scott against Chase Newroth. Scott wins the draw, but the Beavers hold it in the Smoky Mountain zone. Puck's centered. It's intercepted by the Wild. Back comes Jackson Scott in the Beaver zone. A shot, and the save is made by Patterson. And we'll have a face-off. And the first Beaver goal was a power play goal. The second goal was at full strength. From the draw, Myers back to get it for Smoky Mountain. Circles his own line, dumps it in the Beaver zone. Puck is cleared right back out. Holding it in for the Beavers was J.P. Smith. For Drake along the boards to Newroth. Back to Drake to Newroth. Backhander is blocked. Drake right point. Drops it back in the corner for Smith. That pass is broken up and the Wild come back. Nifty move by Scott. Gets around Drake, but then is checked along the boards. He gets it back. Fakes a shot at the top of the slot. Drop pass for Riley Raines. He's checked. And starting out for the Beavers is Matt Haywood. Haywood long pass at center. Gets past Newroth. Icing waved off on that play since Newroth was so close to the puck, but back come the Wild trying to get the catch up to the puck. McCracken. The Beavers get it first, however. Here's Drake. Pass to Vandenboss at center. Hops over his stick. It's played by Grace Stow. Stow dumps to center. Drake dumps right back in. Stow back to get it. She circles the net. Here's Grace Stow on right wing. She's checked along the boards, and the puck pops out of play. We'll have a face-off. Taking the face-off is Liam Corrigan. I don't see the number of the Smoky Mountain player right off. There's a shot from the draw is blocked. The Wild don't have numbers on their sleeves, so if they don't have their back to you, you don't see their number. There's Riley Raines. He collides with a no, actually, that was Grace Stow colliding with Corrigan. Puck dumped into the Beaver zone. Back to get it, Myers. And now it comes loose to Jackson Scott. Scott checked along the boards. Puck tips to center. There is Stow to dump it back in the Beaver zone. Flipping it to neutral ice, Calander. Back is Stow. Stow tried to clear. It's held in by Brighting. Puck centered in front for Brian Scott, but he fanned on a shot. It came up to him, but is a little bit behind him. And he tried to turn and shoot, but didn't make contact with the puck. Now there's a collision and a Wild player is down. There's a glove on the ice. And let's see, that the Wild player is down and now just starting to move. I don't know who it is. The medical personnel is with that player. They might be checking for concussion symptoms right now. There's a Beaver player in the box, and I believe it's Corrigan. So a 5-minute major for checking behind the head to Corrigan. We still don't see the number of the player. That player for the Wild is still on the ice. And they're checking the player. Could be checking for concussion. Well, our best wishes for the Wild player that's down on the ice. And that player is still hasn't moved as yet. Obviously from here, I don't know if they are talking to that player. Still working on the player that's down on the ice. And now one of the officials has left the playing surface and is contacting rink personnel, it appears. Oh my gosh, we have just nothing but best wishes for the Wild player that's on the ice. A few of the Wild players are speaking to the officials. Oh, this is very unfortunate. I would say I hope he is okay, but don't forget they have a couple of young ladies on their team too. I don't know if it's a he or a she that's down on the ice right now. They are still, the medical person, he's still on one knee right over the player's head, maybe talking to the player. So hopefully the player is conscious and talking to the medical person, but then again, I don't know that. Well, this is very unfortunate. Still looking for just any sign of movement from that player. Yeah. They have opened up the rink doors where the Zamboni comes out, and I don't know if they're going to bring a gurney out or something. They might have to transport that player off the ice surface mechanically, possibly. And at this point, it doesn't look like the player is going to get up and that the player hasn't moved. The player hasn't moved that I've seen. They've got he or she on their back, and looking up at the medical personnel. It appears like they are speaking to the player. So hopefully that player is conscious. But I don't know that. I don't know anything. They've opened up both. Huh?
You want to comment on it? On the hit?
Oh, you saw it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Mike is on his phone is replaying the play. So let's see it.
Liam.
Oh, okay. Right there?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
And he's just coming in here to the scrum.
Yeah.
And just coming in shoulder. I think
Into the wall?
Yeah. I think her head was...
Oh, it was a girl?
Yeah. I don't know.
Okay.
Well, I think their head was just down.
We can't see the number.
Yeah.
Okay, he's showing me the play again, and Corrigan put his shoulder down and hit the player for the Wild into the boards. And obviously it looks like it could have been head first. Just because it seems like... Can you zoom in any more?
There's right here.
Oh.
It's just a hard check, I think.
Oh, so maybe the player's head didn't go into the boards. It was just the shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay. But we couldn't see the number of the player, right?
Yeah, no, I couldn't.
Comments say it's player number 14 for the Wild.
Oh, okay. We don't have a 14. There's no 14.
Here's the comments that we've gotten. This is before the...
Okay. Let me see that. Thanks, Dave. Okay, we're going to read some of our chats. Chester Phelps wished number 12 Aiden well on his 15th birthday. Thanks, Chester. Dave Rasigi, thanks for the stream. Thank you very much. And Babette Rascal says Beth Scott watching from Knoxville. And Chester says number 14 is the injured player. Chester, could you or one of the Wild people watching elaborate? Because on our program, there is no number 14 on the Smoky Mountain team. So maybe they're wearing somebody else's jersey or a new jersey or something like that. This disappeared. Can you watch for that, Dave, to see if they... I wondered about that earlier because I thought I saw a 14 on the ice, but who is available? Could one of you guys go down to the scores and see if they have a 14 on their score sheet? Because on the roster there is no 14.
Yeah.
Okay, so we'll try to find out from the scorers table. They're checking at the scorers table to see if the official score sheet has a 14 on the Wild. Any response back from
yet, no.
Chester, Phelps, or any of the Wild folks? If you know who 14 is, let us know. They don't have a 14 on the score sheet. So we do not know who number 14 is. Even the scorers table does not know. So any of the Wild folks watching, Chester or Phelps or anybody else, let us know in the chat who number 14 is. I mean, the player might be on our roster, but is wearing a 14, the jersey. But on our program, we have a number 41, which is Madison Resigi, who was a young lady. So we have a 41, but not a 14. We've got a 12, 17, 18, and those are the only teen numbers we've got.
Nothing from the live chat. Michael said from the locker room, it sounds like the plan is to just play the remaining time in one period, since we have such a long delay to keep the tournament on schedule.
Oh, so what was that again?
They're going to play the remaining time in one period once they resume.
They're just going to play one more period since.
They're going to play the remaining time, but as a single period.
Oh, so a half hour?
However long is left.
Oh,
We're probably well into what would have been the second
yeah.
period.
There's only 42 seconds left in the first, but we've had this long delay, and oh my gosh. And we don't even know who it is. So again, if any of you Wild folks watching know who number 14 is, let us know. And the Wild players are all on one knee. Several of the Beaver players are. I imagine there's.
The captains and alternates are out.
Huh?
The captains and alternates are out. The rest of the team's in the locker room.
Right, okay. The Beavers have gone to their locker room. The coaches and the alternate captains are out. I think there's some prayers going on out there too, I imagine. This is just a terrible thing to have happen. Of course, hockey is a violent sport. We all know it's fast-paced. It's hard-hitting. You know, players go into the boards. They get hit. You know, I mean, and now here comes the gurney. They're wheeling out a gurney. Still nothing about.
Oh, wait, something at the bottom. Zarek, the player, Zarek Luster, according to David Ressigal.
Dave Resigi, okay.
Zarek Luster is the player name.
Zarek Luster. And he is not on the roster. So we've got a word from, was it Brian Resigi?
I'll pull it up so you can see it.
Okay. Let's see here. Okay, David Resigi. Player down is Zarek Luster. Thank you very much, David, for letting us know that. Yeah, he was not on the program roster. He was not even on the score sheet, the official score sheet at the scores table. They didn't have him either. So Zarek Luster. And he is still not moved, folks, and I am just terribly sorry that this has happened. And hopefully this young man is going to be just fine after he gets medical attention. I'm sure they're checking for concussions and whatnot, but he is not moved since the play happened. And that's been, I don't know, how long has it been? 15 minutes?
Probably pretty close. Yeah.
Uh,
It sounds like the word we got from the locker room may have been wrong, so forget everything I said about the rest of the game.
okay. Well, I've seen even NFL games just get postponed after something like this. Of course, they wouldn't postpone this game. They would just probably call it. There's probably not going to be a replay of this contest, and so if they decide not to play, they would probably just call it right now as it is. But we'll wait on word to see what they're going to do. And this is, of course, this is a tricky situation where they don't want to move the head, of course. So they have to get the player up on the gurney. Now, to all the wild folks watching out there, I'm terribly sorry this has happened, and we have nothing but best wishes for Derek, or Zarek, I beg your pardon, Zarek Luster. Wow, I've been calling high school and college games for 31 years. And, I've seen a lot of injuries, and I've seen medical personnel, coming out. I don't think I've ever seen an injury like this where the player has just been down and for this long and hasn't moved. I mean, this is terribly unfortunate. And when the officials, I think it's Greg Leff, I believe, is it's either Greg Leff or Greg Sign. I think it's Greg Leff is speaking to a couple of our folks at the scorers table. Any other messages, Dave? No? Okay. Okay, let me catch up on our chat messages, everybody. Chester says the number is 19, and it's Zach. Zach Luster. He is talking and moving. They're taking him to be checked out. Nancy Jeske says prayers for both the player and the team. So Chester says it's number 19, and it's Zach Luster. Mr. Rasigi said it was Zarek. So, and he says it's number 19, not number 14. But even that doesn't help us because there's not a number 19 on the roster either. Like I say, on the Smoky Mountain roster, we've got Phelps number 12, Hart 17, and Scott number 18. And those are the only numbers in the teams that we've got. We don't have a 14 or a 19. But well, everybody, they're still working on, was it Zach or Zarek? Babette Rascal. Hi, Babette. She says it is Zarek Luster, number 19. So number 19, Zarek Luster. Okay, thank you, Babette. Appreciate you letting us know. And appreciate David and Chester. Appreciate you guys coming in the chat also and letting us know. Is there a way to
I think if you pull all the way down, it'll refresh
pull all the way down that way?
again. Oh,
And hit live chat. Okay, I thought there was another
last
one.
message I have on here is from Babette.
Oh, okay. All right. There was
So I
a.
wonder if Zarek goes by Zach, maybe.
Uh,
That's what the
oh, okay,
discrepancy might be.
could be. But at least, and the good thing, and maybe Chester is communicating with one of the coaches or one of the players, but he said that the player is talking and moving. So those are awfully good signs right there. So whether it's a Zach or Zarek Luster, number 19 or 14. No, it's 19. It looks like both Chester and Babette say it's number 19. Oh, they have Zarek on the gurney, and the crowd is giving him a hand right now. That they're going to for precautionary measures. They have him, strapped on the gurney. They don't want his head to move. They probably want to do some X-rays or MRIs before his head moves. But I just saw his arms are moving, so they're now wheeling him out on the gurney, and he'll probably go. There's a hospital right down the street here, right? So probably going to Kettering Health Troy, I imagine, which is right down the street from here. Okay, everybody. Well, of secondary importance is the game. Let's see what's going to happen. Right now, the Beavers are heading to their locker room, and so are the Wild. And let's wait for word to see what's going to happen. Like I say, I've seen NFL games get canceled. Remember the Bengals and the Bills a couple of years ago when the one player on the Bills got hurt, and they were afraid of the heart thing. Remember? And they just canceled the rest of the game, and that was in the first quarter. That was an NFL game. So right now the officials are moving the nets out of place as if they're going to resurface the ice. The teams have gone back to their locker rooms. We're waiting on word what's going on. Andy, do you know what's going on down there? What's going on? Oh, you guys don't know? So even the scorers table doesn't know what's going on. The officials, I hope they would let us know what's happening. They're going to resurface the ice. I wish one of the officials would know what's going on.
Craig just said resurfacing the ice and then a running clock for the remainder of the game.
So who told us that?
Craig.
Oh, Craig.
Newroth.
Craig Newroth has let us know. What he's heard is they're going to resurface the ice, and then they'll play the rest of the game with a running clock. So do you have some commercial messages you can? We're going to hear from some of our sponsors for the next few minutes as they resurface the ice, and then we'll be back at it. Apparently, it's 2-0 Beaver Creek over Smoky Mountain after one period of play. Again, the player Zach or Zarek Luster has been taken on a gurney, and we believe to the hospital to probably get X-rays or MRIs. If we hear anything before we leave the air, obviously we'll let you know. But that's where we stand right now. So we'll step aside for messages of interest from our Beaver hockey sponsors, and then we'll be back for more. Again, after one period, it's Beaver Creek 2, Smoky Mountain nothing. This is Beaver Creek battling Beaver hockey.
It takes a pro to stop termites. Call Go-To Pros Pest Control for the best protection in town. Steep price increase on your current plan? Call us for a second opinion and review. No termite protection? Don't wait till you find damage. Call Go-To Pros today.
Dayton MMA Academy. Family, honor, respect. Dayton, Ohio's elite Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and Self-Defense Academy. We offer classes for anyone and everyone of any skill level to be able to train and build confidence while getting in great shape. From striking to elite grappling, we're here to help you on your journey to a better life. If you're in the Dayton, Ohio area and looking for Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Thai boxing, or submission grappling, or self-defense, we have an option for you. We offer private lessons and group classes. We encourage you to come try a free week of unlimited classes in our Beaver Creek, Ohio Academy. Do not just take others' words for it. Come experience the best atmosphere in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at Dayton MMA Team Renzo Gracie. We're a proud sponsor of Beaver Creek Varsity Hockey. Go Creek!
Go. Hey hockey fans, do you feel like you're skating on thin ice with the IRS? Maybe you feel like your retirement planning is in the penalty box. Hey, I'm Curve Miller, Senior Wealth Advisor and Senior Vice President at Russell Total Wealth and Wellness, where we help good people make great decisions so they can have an amazing retirement. Now, when is the last time you took a look at the risk you're taking with your money? It could be time to sharpen your planning so you can pursue a total wealth hat trick with your retirement savings. Don't skate with your head down. Get in the game and pursue your goals with your head up. Now let's get back to the action. Go Creek Hockey!
Concerned about dealing with your players' parents? Need advice on enhancing your players' game day performance? Want to know how to run an effective practice? Finally, a concise guide to help the youth sports coach succeed with players and parents. Hustle and Have Fun is the perfect book for coaches, players, and parents across all youth sports and outdoor activities. Written by retired Air Force Brigadier General and Beaver Creek head coach General Greg Gutterman, he's captured 3 decades of hockey coaching experience and put them into 7 practical recommendations for coaches of children, teen, youth, and young adult sports. From training to game day management to communicating with parents, this is your definitive blueprint for becoming an effective player-centric coach. You can do this in Coach Greg Gutterman's Hustle and Have Fun, and A Coach's Guide to Winning Over Players and Parents is your blueprint for teaching character through sports. If you lead, teach, or coach at any level, this is the perfect book for you. Hustle and Have Fun is available at Amazon.com, also BarnesandNoble.com, or at Books A Million or IndieBound. Special thanks also to the tournament sponsors. First of all, Dayton Children's Hospital. At Dayton Children's, our specialty is kids. As your community pediatric experts, we're here to provide the right care for the ones you love the most. We're dedicated to helping children stay healthy, recover when they're sick or hurt, and ensure life's challenges don't take away their joy. We go above and beyond to care for your child, knowing you are entrusting us with your world. That's Dayton Children's Hospital. Also, Kettering Health. The mission of Kettering Health is to empower you to be your best. We're committed to bringing the latest in medical technology and advanced health care, hospital, medical, emergency, physical therapy, and imaging services to your community. That's Kettering Health. And also Casey's. Whether you're stopping for gas, grabbing a quick meal, or picking up a snack or a few essentials, Casey's is here to make your everyday easier. That's Casey's convenience stores and gas stations throughout the area. We appreciate all of our tournament sponsors. And we the program that we got also wanted to point out some special places in Troy that if you're ever up here that you might want to go to. There's the Troy Hayner Cultural Center at 301 West Main Street, a beautiful example of Romanesque architecture built in 1914 and is beautifully decorated for the holidays. There's no admission fee to tour the house. Be sure to include a tour of the lovely Miami County Courthouse next door, which has amazing architecture to it. We've got some beautiful buildings up here in Troy. Plus, we're from Beaver Creek, which is a suburb of Dayton, which is in southwest Ohio. Troy is kind of in west central Ohio. And so we don't get up here too often, mainly just for the hockey a couple of times a year. But I'll tell you what, Troy is a nice place to visit. They also have the Waco Air Museum on South County Road 25A. And that's the WACO, Waco Aircraft Company. Is the largest manufacturer of civil aircraft in the country in the late 1920s and early 30s. And this museum is dedicated to the plant and the employees that made it great. The Waco Historical Society, in addition to preserving aviation's past, is also dedicated and actively working to nurture aviation for the future throughout its Learning Center programs. It's the WACO Waco Air Museum on County Road at 25A. And also Troy's Main Street. Downtown Troy is your one-stop destination for festive fun, shopping, and dining this holiday season. Stroll along the beautifully lit streets, explore unique boutiques and for the perfect gifts, and indulge in delicious meals at our cozy local restaurants. It's downtown Troy, Main Street. And again, if you're ever up here, certainly recommend a trip through downtown Troy. Very, very nice town. And we emanate from Hobart Arena, which is built in 1950. It has housed concerts from Elvis Presley, Nat King Cole, and Liberace. Remember Liberace, the pianist, or the flamboyant pianist that had the candelabras? You have to be of a certain age to remember him, but I am. I'm 59, so he was in the 70s. He was a prominent entertainer, and as well as many other concerts. This place has been the home of several different minor league hockey teams through the years. Just a great facility, Hobart Arena. What they're going to do is play the final 42 seconds of the first period and then go right into the second period. So we're resetting at center ice. The Beavers are on the penalty kill as Liam Corrigan is in for 5 minutes for checking behind the head to the injured player, Zach Luster, who was taken to the hospital. If we hear anything, we'll let you know as soon as we find out. Puck chipped down the ice. It's 2-0 Beaver Creek. Beavers in their all black, the Smoky Mountain Wild out of Knoxville, Tennessee. They are in the light blue sweaters, black trunks with the white and light blue trim. There's a big hit by Haywood on one of the Wild players, and he gets up. That was Aiden Phelps, I think. Was that Aiden Phelps, or let's see, that might have been Jackson Scott. It was Jackson Scott who got hit hard into the boards. He's all right. He's back to the bench, a little bit of a limp, but he's okay. So that was the final 42 seconds of the first period. Any more chats, Dave?
No, nothing.
Okay. Could I see your chats on your phone again, just so I'll read the ones that popped up during the injury, and that some of the greetings we didn't want to.
Battery's getting low. So.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay, so it was nice to hear from David Resigi and Chester Phelps. He says, "Go Aiden Phelps, happy 15th birthday from Papa and Grandma in Owensboro, Kentucky." That's to Aiden Phelps. Dave Resigi said that he's a Wild dad. Watching from Knoxville. Babette Rascal, Beth Scott watching from Knoxville, is Jackson Scott's mom. Thanks for allowing us to watch. Great commentary. Thank you, Babette. Thanks, Chester and David and Nancy Jeske. Nice to hear from all you folks today. So one period in the books. It's 2-0 Beaver Creek. Goal by Hayden Drake and by Chase Newroth. The Drake goal was a power play goal. So now we're right into the second period. Again, the Beavers on a penalty kill. There's a long shot from center that's saved by the Wild goalkeeper. That's Tanner Oldfield. Back is Hayden Drake for the puck. Chased by Jackson Scott. Scott steals the puck. Wraparound chance, and a backhander is off the side of the Beaver net. Loose puck, Resigi. Drops it off. Actually, that was Asher Knight. Asher Knight that had the puck. Loose puck, far corner of the Beaver zone. Again, the Beavers on a penalty kill for 5 minutes. There's a shot, and Patterson to save. Rebound live, still in the Beaver zone. The other shot is blocked by Drake and chucked to the blue line. Myers holds it in. Myers for Asher Knight. Shot pad save, loose in front of the Beaver net. Now behind the cage is Scott. Jackson Scott trying to wrap it around. It's a pad save for Patterson. Rebound cleared. Loose puck at the Beaver line. Picked up by Scott. Jackson Scott drops it off in front. Trying to get a shot away was Pernhagen. Pad save. Rebound to the near boards. Knight sends the puck in front. It's deflected back to the blue line. He drops it off in the corner. Pernhagen after it. Pernhager behind the Beaver net. Pernhagen check from behind. Puck cleared down the ice. 2 minutes left in the 5-minute Wild power play. They trail it 2-0. Pernhagen, rink wide pass, gets through Christensen. Bangs off to the near boards. Trucking up is Pernhagen. Centering pass intercepted by Haywood. Haywood unable to clear it. Wild holding it back in behind the net. Beavers trying to get it out, and it's over the glass on a clearing shot by Vandenbos. And we'll have a face-off in the Beaver zone. 12:23. They're not doing the running clock, so not a running clock. Clock is stopped. 12:23 left in the second. 1:41 left in the Wild power play. From the draw, there's Rains, a shot that's blocked, and now it does come in on net, and the stop is made by Patterson. Unofficial shots first period, 10-8 favoring Beaver Creek. Christensen takes the face-off for the Wild. There's Bradley Hart. Back to Rains. Rains back to Hart. Centering, but it gets through and off the far boards to center ice. Back again at Stow. To Knight. Knight behind the Beaver net is checked there. Puck centered right in front of the Beaver net. It deflects off to the far corner. Here's Riley Rains, a shot, and it's in and out of the mid, it looks like, of Patterson. Then off to the near corner. Rains holds it in. Rains passes over to Stow. She takes a shot, and it's on goal, and the save is made by Talon Patterson. And that was actually Resigi rather than Stow. Madison Resigi. And David, if I'm mispronouncing your name, let us know in the chat. Maybe spell it phonetically. I asked the coaches before the game, and they gave me the pronunciation Resigi. So if we're mispronouncing that, let us know. Puck dumped down the ice. 11:15 to go in the second. Half a minute left in the Wild power play. Puck pass to center ice. Here is Jackson Scott. He's resetting with Asher Knight. Here's Scott. Gets around Drake. And a pass ahead for Myers is in ahead of the. Somebody's in ahead of the play. Face and a face-off coming up. Offside on.
There's going to be a penalty on us and on them.
Oh, we've got penalties coming up. It's Matthew Haywood Matt Haywood and Jackson Scott. Elbowing, 2 minutes. Haywood. And a cross check on Scott. Cross check on Scott. Elbowing on Haywood. Matthew Haywood. So it's going to be 5-on-4 as the Haywood and Scott penalties are coincidental minors. So the Wild still on a power play for just a few more seconds. There's a shot in front, and what happened? No goal. No goal. The Wild were celebrating. The net came loose, and the whistle blew. And I think the Wild thought they had scored, but it's waved off. The Beaver net was loose. And we're going to have a face-off in the Beaver zone. 10:39 to go in the second. Beavers in all black lead it 2-0. From the draw, Hayden Drake from behind his own net passes off a stick down the ice. And that'll be played by the Wild. Here they come. Racing through center ice and trying to get a play away was Bradley Hart. Puck came off his stick. It's dumped off the end boards and back through center ice. Dumping it in for the Beavers, Curve Miller. Here comes Elliot Christensen for the Wild. His shot is wide of the Beaver net. Puck ricochets in front of the cage off the end boards, and it's cleared away by the Beavers. And back to get it for the Wild is Roman Myers. Here's Roman Myers crossing the right wing into the Beaver zone. His shot is high and wide. The Wild, you know, despite the record 2-18-1, they've got a few guys that can really skate. Scott and Christensen, and we just saw Myers. There's a shot, and Talon Patterson will make the stop. He'll swallow up the puck and hold on to it. 9:20 to go. Couple of comments.
We'll wait till next whistle.
Okay, we'll get to the chat messages on the next stoppage of play. Face off in the Beaver zone. It's chipped to center by Brighting. Racing after it is Brian Scott. They'll flip it ahead to Schrader. He's knocked into the boards by Myers. And the pass at center for Gabriel Hansen. Hansen checked. Puck cleared. Back to get it for is Resigi, but out of the net. To play it first is goalkeeper Oldfield. Okay, we got a few new messages.
Two messages.
Two new messages. We've got Barry Calander from the Beavers says prayer for the injured player from the Calanders watching from Maine. Dave Resigi says no problem. Thanks for checking. It's Rezugi. Okay. Thank you very much, David. Appreciate that. Rezugi. Okay. Thanks. So we've got that. And in fact, Madison Rezugi is on the ice right now. And she went back to play the puck, and instead it's first played by goalkeeper Oldfield. It's an icing against the Beavers. And the face-off will be back in the Beaver Creek zone. Clock stopped. We've got 8:40 to go in the second period. Beavers lead it 2-0. This game is for third place in the Miami Valley Freeze tournament. Fifth place went to the Troy Bruins. They defeated the Toledo Whitmer club earlier today in a wild game, 7-1. Here's Chase Newroth, a shot wide for the Beavers. Loose puck far boards is tipped behind the net for Newroth. Newroth lost the puck behind him. It rimmed off the dasher down the ice. After for the Beavers, Zach Brighting, along with Lyndon Valentine of the Wild. Puck is rimmed off to the far boards. Beavers clear it. Back to get it for the Wild was Raines. Back to get it, number 41. That is Madison Rizegi. She tried to clear it, but it's blocked right back behind the Wild net. Now here's Valentine. Give and go pass to Scott. He's checked. Loose puck picked up by, that was Rizegi, Madison Rizegi. She gives it off to the front of the net, and it's cleared to center. Beavers dump it right back in. Back to get it for the Wild was, and trying to get the number at is Scott, Michael Scott. Here he comes through center. Scott lost it behind him right as he was trying to make a play in the slot. Scott gets it back. He's bumped off the puck by Curve Miller. And a shot from long at center comes in on the Wild net, and the puck is played by Oldfield. He'll cover it up. That goes as a shot on goal, and they've got their shots are 15-12 Smoky Mountain. Does that sound right? What do you have, Dave?
I have 14-9
14
Beaver Creek.
14-9 Beaver Creek, so there's a disparity in shots on goal. Beavers have it. Here is Matt Haywood, a shot. Stick save by Oldfield, and Tanner will hold on to it.
Another message.
Oh, okay. Oh, thanks. Got a message from Maria Hernandez. Maria says a big shout out to her son, the Wild number 52, Gabriel Hansen, my Alaskan boy. How about that, Maria Hernandez? Thank you very much. And her message goes out to Gabriel Hansen. And what is the delay, guys?
The goalie just got kicked out of the game.
Holy mackerel. Holy cats almighty. Tanner Oldfield has just been ejected from the game. What in the son of a gun is going on here? Well, new goalkeeper coming in for Smoky Mountain. It's Sam Cessna, just like the airplane, Cessna. Sam Cessna comes in with 6'13". So 5-minute unsportsmanlike conduct on the Wild player, and apparently a game misconduct.
So, what was his number?
Oldfield was number 1. It's going to be served by 13. That's, well, I don't have a 13. Well, 43, that would be, 43? That's Grace Stow. That's Grace Stow. So she will be serving the penalty for Tanner Oldfield. So maybe Tanner can buy her a hamburger after the game or something. I don't know. Well, sorry to hear that. My goodness, what a turn of events. So The Beavers on a power play, leading it 2-0. Here is Chase Newroth. He'll dump the puck in behind the Wild net. It's rimmed to this near side. Puck is centered, but now a Wild player is down behind the net. And in apparent discomfort.
Chase. And then Beaver Creek's got a tripping.
Oh my gosh, this is just, oh my gosh. Now Chase Newroth going to the box, and a Wild player is down, and he is not, it looks like he's trying to stand up. He's been hurt, it looks like maybe in the lower body. Now the medical personnel, she's going out to check on him. He's kind of doubled over. I don't see the number of that player. Golly, Ned's almighty. Sorry, folks. This is turning into a debacle out here this morning. My goodness gracious. Come on, guys. Let's just not play like we're going bananas out here. That is Roman Myers. And Roman is on his feet, and he skated back to the bench gingerly. It appears, and that's again, I'm not a medical person, appeared it was a lower body thing. So either a knee or ankle or something. He had a hard time standing up at first, but he did go to the bench under his own power. The official is having a word at the bench. We'll try to find out what happened. Can we find out from Andy what's going on?
It's a two-minute tripping on Chase.
So Chase got 2 minutes for tripping. That's his second tripping minor of the game.
Well, but then they just let him out of the box.
What? Oh, that was his second penalty, and it looks like Chase is going to be removed from the contest, and he tries to close the door, but he was unsuccessful in closing the door. There you go, he slammed it. The chaser slammed the door on the way out, and it popped right back open. One of the spectators, or one of the managers of the Beavers, is going to close the door over there. Oh my goodness gracious, folks! We need to just go home, go back to bed, and then come back and start over.
I don't know. Let's see. I've never seen anything like this.
My gosh almighty. Thank goodness at least Roman Myers looked like he's okay. We'll see if he comes back into the game anytime soon.
So Liam is sitting at 2.
So Liam Corrigan is going to serve
Oh man,
the penalty.
So Chase's is a 5 now.
So they have upgraded the Newroth penalty to 5 minutes. Goodness gracious, folks. If this were nighttime, I'd say, is there a full moon? There's not a full moon because it's afternoon. There's a shot, pad save, Patterson. Wild on a power play. Are they on a 2-man or what? Or just 1? Huh?
5 minute.
Okay, 5 minute, 5-on-4. Okay. Here comes Hayden Drake for the Beavers. Over the Wild line, shot, and the save. Rebound was Haywood, but couldn't control the puck. Again, new goalie in for Smoky Mountain, Sam Cessna. So we've had a player go to the hospital. We've had a goaltender thrown out of the game. And we've had 2 5-minute major penalties, and we've had a Beaver player ejected. We've had a Wild goaltender ejected. So I don't know what else can happen in this game. Maybe they just play and nothing else happens. We'll see if that occurs. Here's a icing violation on the Wild. They have the one player advantage at this time.
Yeah, it should be even right now.
Is it? Is it even? Is it
Right now.
5-on-4? I forgot when there's a penalty to Scott. Yeah, I forgot the penalty to Michael Scott. So he's in the box for another, what? Was his 5 minutes?
Yeah, they were both 5 minutes.
Oh, so Michael Scott's was 5 minutes also. I didn't realize that. Okay. Okay.
So, hey, Mike, can you see, call out the 2 times up there for me?
So it's 4-on-4. Okay. It's 4-on-4 right now.
Correct, Ken.
Okay.
Which is why there was an icing, because there's no man advantage currently.
Yeah. So we'll have a face-off in the wild zone. So we're at 4-on-4. The score 2-0, incidentally. The score doesn't seem to mean much right now in this crazy contest. Beavers trying to get their 3rd win of the season, as are the Wild. Puck is tipped to center by Roman. There's Roman Myers back on the ice, so he's okay. Back is behind the net. Holding the puck in is Myers at the left point. Sidesteps a check.
Start the clock!
Oh, there they go. There's, okay. There is Valentine. Drops puck behind the Beaver net. Centering pass held in at the point by Myers. His shot blocked and cleared down the ice. Myers after the puck. Shoots to center ice for Valentine. Valentine's centering pass is broken up. Hayden Drake clears not out. It's knocked down by Valentine and held in. Valentine far boards. Valentine circles. Drops it back center point. Here's Knight moving in, a shot. Pad save by Talon Patterson. Rebound behind the net. Christensen trying to make a play. Drops it back right point. One-timer by Knight. He scores! Asher Knight, a one-time blast from the right point, gets under the pads of Patterson.
Should be 2:43 on the clock.
And the
Run down and tell them 2:43.
Smoky Mountain Wild are on the board.
If they want to run it down exact. 2:43.
What did he give us the? Are there any assists? We'll try to get the assists later. There is Zach Breiting being checked hard by Christensen. Christensen quite a bit bigger than Zach. Zach drops the puck off, but it's intercepted. Here come the Wild. Asher Knight. He's got a nose for the net now. He drops it off in front for Hansen. It's off Hansen's stick. Carried to center by Smith. Here come the Wild right back. Knight a shot. Pad save by, or actually the puck was caught by Talon Patterson. We're going to have him take a picture of the score sheet at the end of the period so I can get the assists and stuff. Face off, Asher Knight a shot, kicked out by Patterson to the corner. Trying to play it, Scott. Pass behind the net, intercepted. Beavers trying to carry it out. And after it is Rasugi. And it's cleared back behind the Beaver net. Zach Breiting gets around Addis, or check that, now it's Roman Myers with the puck. Myers, drop pass, Knight, he'll pull the trigger again, and it's off a stick. And over the glass, Knight slams his stick down on the ice. I think he thought he had a better shot at the net. He had a little bit of a clearing on the right wing. His shot was deflected over the glass. We'll have a face-off. Michael Scott, or Jackson Scott. I'm thinking of the Michael Scott Paper Company. It's Jackson Scott, I beg your pardon. Jackson Scott drops the puck behind the net. Puck held in by the Wild's Jackson Scott behind the net. We've got a penalty coming up on Beaver Creek, it appears. Here's Scott looking to make a play. Cessna goes to the bench. The Wild will try to get a 6-on-5 going with a delayed penalty coming up on Beaver Creek. Myers. Pass at center. I can't see who it is. Moving in behind the net. Wrap around. Chance. And they score! With a delayed penalty. Seth Kernhagen. There was a pile-up in front of the Beaver net, and the official signals goal. There was a delayed penalty coming up, and will that kill off the penalty?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's a goal scored while there's a delay, it nullifies the penalty.
Okay. So the penalty is wiped out because of the goal. It was, I guess you would call it a power play goal, because they had a 6-on-5. So I've got number 2 as the goalie, as the goal. That's Kernhagen, but do we have the assist?
He just said 2.
Okay. We'll get a picture of the score sheet at the end of the period, so we'll get assists. But it's all tied up 2-2. The momentum in this game has swung completely over to the Wild at this point. Whereas the Beavers controlled action through that first period. There's a shot on goal by the Beavers, and Cessna makes the stop. I believe that might have been Vandenboss on the shot. Or no, Malik. Ethan Malik taking the shot. Face off in the Wild zone. Here's Zach Breiting. He'll tee up a shot. It's blocked in front. Puck shot again, and Cessna was able to catch that one. Cessna southpaw. He's got a right-handed trapping mitt. And the Wild change lines with a stoppage of play. What a wild, and no pun intended, wild game. Here's a shot, pad save, Cessna to the corner. Puck centered again. It's loose in front. It's picked up by the Wild. And being checked is Kernhagen at the buzzer. And the second period is over with. And the score after 2 is Beaver Creek 2, Smoky Mountain 2. Can you get a picture? Oh, okay. Okay, Mike's going to get a picture of the score sheet. So we can get all the goals and assists correct at this point. Okay. This is a highly technical operation, Dave.
Yes. Yes,
They're going down to get a picture of the score sheet. They do not have a microphone set up for public address, so we don't have them announcing the goals and assists. So I'm going to try to get that while we're waiting. 17-21, 21 unassisted, 47 from 34, and 2 from 3. Thanks a lot, guys. Okay, so before they're going to go ahead and drop the puck for the third, but here's the scoring update. First period, Beavers, Drake from Newroth, then Newroth unassisted. The Drake goal was a power play goal. And for the Wild in the second period, it was Knight from Christensen and Pernhagen from, we don't have a number 3. So it says from 3, but we don't have a 3. So we don't know who that is. And it might have been a power play goal. It might have been from 8. So it might have been from Myers. I'm going to give it from Myers. Obviously unofficial since I'm guessing. There's a shot from the draw. Pad save Cessna. Third period underway. We're all tied 2 apiece. Both teams have won a period 2-0. There's Haywood trying to get a shot in front. There was a pad save by Cessna. Again, Kent Jacobs from the Hobart Arena in Troy, and we got assist tonight from our producer, engineer Dave Vandenboss, and our camera operator is Mike Scott.
Switch goalies.
Oh, so Gabe is in the net. Big Haas, Gabe Horseman, a big 6'6" goalie for the Beavers, is in. So right now, Cessna and Horseman are the goalies of record at this point because of the tie score. Gabe Horseman coming in with a record of 1-6-1, goals against of 3.24, and a save percentage of .920. A good save percentage by Big Hoss. There's a shot by Jackson Scott that's high and wide. Shoveling the puck ahead was Madison Rasugi. Onto this near side, and the Beavers clear it, but we've got a whistle. We've got as a player was hit along the boards, and we've got an interference minor coming up against one of the Wild players. And it's going to be Hart. It's going to be Bradley Hart. And goes off for interference. So the Beavers won the first period 2-0. The Wild won the second 2-0. So we're all knotted up at 2 apiece. Tyler Calander for Vandenboss, trying to move it in front. And it comes in on net, and it's smothered by Cessna. So in goal for Smoky Mountain, it was Oldfield. He was ejected from the game for game misconduct, unsportsmanlike. Oh, Hayden Drake is trying to tee up a shot from the draw, but it hopped over his stick. So Cessna in goal now for the Wild. For the Beavers, Talon Patterson played the first 2 periods, and now Gabe Horseman is in. There's Drake, a shot. He hammers one off the end boards high and wide. Back for the Beavers, Tyler Calander, number 20. He's shadowed there by looks like 21, but we don't have a 21 on the Wild roster. I don't think they didn't get the Wild roster complete for this program. There's a shot from the blue line, and Cessna the save. So the Beavers on a 1-man advantage, but they don't have their big gun. Chase Newroth has been ejected from the game. So that's an advantage for the Wild. The Beavers' leading scorer is no longer in the contest. From the draw, here's Malik. Drop pass to the point, held in by Vandenboss. There's a shot, and Cessna makes the save. And we'll have another face-off. Malik against Scott. In the left wing circle of the Wild zone. From the face-off, Beavers get a shot, and it's off the side of the net. And a whistle as the puck is played, and we've got a slashing penalty coming up on someone. I think it's a Wild player. It's one of the bigger guys out there. Is that Scott? No, it's Pernhagen. Pernhagen for slashing. So right now, Hart is in for interference and Pernhagen in for slashing. Beavers a two-man power play trying to take the lead. They led at one time 2-0, but it's now 2-2. Here's Drake teeing it up from the left point. Fires! And the rebound is off to the corner. Save made by Cessna. Puck cleared down the ice. Racing after it. Out of the net was Horseman to try to keep it away from Scott. He steals it, trying to sweep a shot toward the net. He fanned on it. Fighting furiously for the puck is Scott. He's checked by two Beavers. Now here's Roman Myers over the Beaver line. He'll dump it in. Beavers have a two-man power play trying to get the puck out of their own zone. Here is Jackson Scott. Jackson will flip it ahead into the Beaver zone after it is Hart, who's out of the penalty box now. Beavers on a one-man advantage. Hart wrestling with Hayden Drake for the puck in the Beaver zone. It's stripped away by Valentine. Playing the puck behind his own net for Beaver Creek is Matt Hayward. Hayward clears not out. There's a shot toward the Beaver net. Pad save by Horseman. Beavers pass to center off the stick of Vandenboss off into the near corner of the Beaver zone. Beavers are short-handed. Valentine calling for the puck in front. Coming back to the blue line now is Roman Myers. He's checked beyond the blue line to center. Trying to get the puck is Vandenboss for Beaver Creek. He's ridden into the boards. And now we've got a whistle and we've got a tripping minor coming up. Officials trying to keep control of this game as it's becoming increasingly chippy. And that is going to be Mr. Vandenboss. That's Andrew Vandenboss. For tripping. Well, we got 10:19 to go in the game. Face off in the Beaver zone. And now the Wild, there's a shot high and wide of the net by Pernhagen. Another shot toward the Beaver net is high. Pernhagen left point fires and the save made. Puck is cleared down to neutral ice. Pernhagen will shovel it right back in on net. Save made by Big Haas, and they'll cover it up with Jackson Scott looking for a rebound. And 9:49 to go in this one. Well, Jackson Scott will take the draw. And it was going to be Malik, but he's headed toward the bench. Instead, it's going to be, I can't see, it's Hayward, Matt Hayward from the draw. There's Asher Knight off to the near wing. Myers back to Knight. Shot! And it's deflected away right in front of the net. Rebound to the corner. Pernhagen a drive, and it's wide. On the far wing, here's Knight behind the net, looking to make a play. Drops it back, left point, Pernhagen holds it in. Pass to Knight, gets behind him. Brighting for Beaver Creek. In the corner, checked by Asher Knight. Loose puck fought for And there's Asher Knight again. And now the puck is cleared to center all the way down on the ice. Behind the Wild net, Cessna will set it up. 8:50 to go in the game, 2-2 the score. Here comes the Wild, pass on the left wing. Now Scott, Pernhagen left point, pass broken up. There's a centering pass, nobody there. Pernhagen holds it in. Pass over on the right wing. Here's a rink-wide pass along the left wing. And now back to the right point. And for Pernhagen, and it comes beyond the blue line. The Wild have to go back to get onside. Here's Pernhagen from his own zone. Pass for Phelps. Phelps will dump it in. Aiden Phelps rims it around far side. Aiden Phelps in front of the Beaver net, trying to drop it off. There's Owen Addis. He's checked. Now coming in is Addis. He's got a mini breakaway, a shot, save, rebound, they score! And let me see who that is, everybody. That was a double rebound, and the Smoky Mountain Wild have taken their first lead of the game. And that looks like Phelps. His number, what is it again?
21.
Okay, 21. Okay, Owen Addis.
27. 21 to 47.
Okay, so Owen Addis assisted by Asher Knight. And the Wild take their first lead of the game, 3-2. There was a bombardment of the Beaver goal there, and a couple of saves made by Horseman, but on that second rebound, Addis is able to knock it in. That's Addis, Owen Addis, Addis. 7:12 to go in the game. Wild lead at 3-2. Now for the Beavers, here is Calander. Stripped to the puck, a shot saved by Horseman. Michael Scott, or Jackson Scott. I can't get the office out of my head. Sorry. I'm sure everybody remembers the TV show The Office, and it's Michael Scott. For some reason, I've got his name in my head, Jackson Scott. And I've got Michael Scott here, and I've got a Michael Scott here. So, yeah, I'm thinking about him too. So, Jackson Scott almost made a great play. He stripped the puck in front of the Beaver net and got a shot. Here's a shot the other way from center, and a play save was made by Cessna. Loose puck. Here come the Wild the other way. It's Roman Myers, a shot, pad save, but no shot because it was offside on the Wild at the Beaver blue line. Any new chats, guys?
Yeah, there's several.
Okay, we'll try to catch up on our chat messages. We'll get that on the next whistle, folks. Face off outside the Beaver blue line. Here comes Hayward, and he's tripped and goes down. Penalty coming up on the Wild. As Matt Haywood was knocked down to the ice, and we had to check behind the head on the Wild. And it's on the young lady. My goodness gracious, it's on Grace Stow. So Grace Stow in for a check behind the head. I messed up. I tried to hit the screen because it was fading out, and I hit something with my thumb. The screen was fading out, so I tried to hit it. So we'll get our chat messages coming up in a few moments here, folks. There's a long shot from center, and Horseman the save. So Grace Stow in the box for check behind the head. That's a 2-minute minor. Here's the puck carried out by the Beavers. Here's Ethan Malik. Malik poke checked away. Nice play by Roman Myers. And the puck is cleared. Now for the Beavers, Vanden Boss pass off the near boards back into the Wild zone, cleared by Myers. Back is Hayden Drake. Here comes Drake. Up to center ice. He's poke checked away by Scott. Jackson Scott will dump it right back in the Beaver zone. Then he gets knocked down, and we've got another penalty coming up. This time on Hayden Drake. And Drake will go to the box. And that is a hooking minor on Hayden Drake. Well, the penalty boxes, did you get those chats back up? Okay, new chats. We got Dave Resegi says, let's hit reset. Jim Newross says, let's go Beavers from Uncle Jim in Ingleside, Illinois. Hey, Jim. Pete Compton says, go Creek, happy birthday. Kyle Compton, thanks, Pete. Nancy Jeske says, /dog X watching from a different account in Mississippi. He says, go Beavers. Thanks, /dog. Appreciate it. And thanks, Nancy. Here come the Wild. Trying to break out was Myers, and a nice check by Zach Brighting to prevent that from happening. Here's Tyler Calander. Pass at center for Haywood. Gets past him into the Wild zone. It's played there by Resegi. Here's Madison Resegi. She'll dump it in. Puck bounds off the inboards into the near corner after Christensen. Beaver is able to clear it, however. Christensen dumps back in the Beaver zone. There's only 4:15 to go in the game. The Wild lead at 3-2. I'm sure Coach Gutterman is going to have some things to say to the troops after this game. For you, the Wild fans out there, the Beaver Creek coach, Greg Gutterman, is a retired brigadier general from the U.S. Air Force. So when he's got something to say to the guys, he knows how to say it. I know I grew up, I played Little League all growing up. I played junior high football and stuff. I never had a coach that was a retired general. So I imagine that that's a little bit of, you take what he has to say a little bit more strictly. So I'm sure he's got a lot to say about the sloppiness and all the penalties and everything else that happened in this game. Here's Pernhagen, a shot is tipped wide. 3:10 to go. Here comes Ethan Malik. He bangs it off the far boards down the ice. Back again at Pernhagen for the Wild. They lead it 3-2. It's their first lead of the game. Beavers at one time led 2-0 and looked like they were going to maybe win this game going away, and then the big injury happened to Zach Luster, who was taken to the hospital. We haven't heard anything. We all of us hope very strongly that he is okay. They said that he was moving and talking, so that's a good sign. Then we had all the craziness in the second period. We had a Beaver thrown out of the game. Their leading scorer, Chase Newroth. We had the Wild goaltender, Tanner Oldfield, thrown out of the game. We've had major penalties. It's just been a mess. Although the third period actually has gone by pretty smoothly. We've had penalties, but we haven't had any crazy stuff. There's a shot by Haywood, shot as a pad save for Cessna. Rebound off to the far boards. And there's going to be a penalty on the Wild, and applauding the penalty is the Beavers' Curve Miller, he got knocked down from behind, and a Wild player going to the box is going to be Pernhagen with a cross check. Well, the Beavers had a big lead in penalties for a while, but now the Wild has committed a few, and now the Beavers have committed 7 penalties and the Wild 6. There's a timeout. Is it Beavers timeout?
Yeah, we took it.
So Beavers timeout. They're going to discuss this power play. They've got a chance to try to tie the game. There's 2:15 to go. We've got a message from David Rasugi. Thank you for the fun coverage. Hey, thank you, David. A crazy game. Dave, you're right, David. David Rasugi. Thank you very much for the nice comment. And it's been a crazy game. No doubt about that. Like I say, I've been doing games for 31 years, and both high school and college, and actually pro as well. I did Dayton. I would keep wanting to say Gems, but Bombers, Dayton Bombers, way back in the late 90s for a season. I did color for them on the radio. I can't remember a game that's had all of this going on. A player sent to the hospital, players from both teams get ejected. We've had major penalties. It's been nuts. But it's 3-2 Wild. Beavers trying to get tied up on a power play. A couple of minutes to go. Malik tied up along the far boards. Wild clear it. Racing back, Hayden Drake. He's able to beat one of the Addis to the puck. Beavers start out Haywood. Matt Haywood over the Wild line. Matt Haywood cuts behind the net. Now in the near corner along with Malik. Malik check. Here's Drake. Winds up, fires, and it's wide of the Wild net. Puck stripped away. Here come the Wild the other way. 1-on-2. And they get a shot. Pad save by Big Haas, but there's going to be a Beaver penalty on the play as Jackson Scott was ridden to the ice by Hayden Drake. I did that again. I did that yesterday. I made a composite player, Matt Haywood and Hayden Drake. I said Haywood Drake. Hayden Drake is going to go to the box for a hooking minor as he pulled down Jackson Scott as Scott cut right in front of the Beaver net. That's the third penalty of the game on Hayden. That's his third penalty. Is there anything?
I think it's 5.
Oh, 5, okay. 1:10 to go, so now we're 4-on-4. Here come the Beavers the other way. It's Zach Brighting. Brighting checked in the corner of the Wild zone, and the puck is cleared away. It's an icing on the Wild, so a face-off will be what do we have now going on? Hayden Drake is now going to be asked to leave the premises. Was he talking? So now Mr. Drake has been asked to leave the premises. Wow. Yeah. Beavers empty net with a minute to go. Here is Calander. He'll shovel the puck toward the Wild net. It's cleared down the ice, and that'll be another icing violation. Or will it? No. They're killing a penalty, so no icing. Beavers with an empty net, extra attacker. So it is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 5 on 4. Okay. So it's 5 on 4 with the empty net. So it's 5 on 4 because of the empty net. There's a long shot toward the Beaver net, and this is an icing against the Wild on Roman Myers. 26 seconds to play. So empty net Beavers, and they have a penalty, so it's only 5 on 4, not 6 on 4. Face off down in the Wild zone. Jackson Scott will take the draw against Matt Haywood. Haywood wins it. Hollander trying to hold the puck in, but it's swept to center. Picking it back up and dumping back in is Vandenboss. 13 seconds left. Beavers trying to get a shot toward the Wild net. They've only got 5 seconds to go. Throw it toward the net, guys. And that's going to do it. The Smoky Mountain Wild. And they go mob their goaltender, Sam Cessna. As he is the winning goalkeeper. It turns out that Big Hoss, Gabe Horseman, is the losing goalkeeper today, in relief of Talon Patterson, who played the first 2 periods. So how about that? So a crazy, crazy game comes to an end as they now shake hands at center ice. So any ending chats here, guys? So we will... No more chats?
2 final.
Oh, okay. So we're going to get a couple of final chat messages in here, folks. And then we will have a 3 stars, and we'll recap the scoring. So final chat messages. Tiffany Sundin. Now they have the public address. Now they have the announcement. So Tiffany Sundin. Hi, Tiffany. She says, thank you so much for broadcasting today. You're quite welcome. This was a crazy game. Hope the injured player at the hospital recovers well. And Tiffany says, go Beavers, woohoo. Loud cheers from Fargo, North Dakota. Fargo, North Dakota?
Yeah.
Holy cow. And David Rasegi. Hi, David, again. Okay, we got a message from Wild Dad David Rasegi. He says, Zarek is waiting to see a doctor still, but he seems to be fine so far.
Yeah.
So that message from David Rasegi. He said the injured player is waiting to see the doctor, but he seems to be doing well so far. So that's good news. Let's recap the scoring, folks, and then we'll have a 3 stars and put a capper on this Wild game. Scoring in the first period was the Beavers' Hayden Drake. And for Hayden, we have that as his 3rd of the season, assisted by Chase Newroth. That was a power play goal. And then Chase Newroth got a even strength goal unassisted, his 7th of the season, and after one it was 2-0 Beavers. And then came the Smoky Mountain Wild as first of all it was Asher Knight, and we don't have any stats for the Wild, so I don't know how many goals it's been for him, but Asher Knight assisted by Elliot Christensen, then Seth Pernhagen, and I believe is assisted by Roman Myers. That should have been a power play goal. It actually came when there was a delayed penalty, and it was empty net 6-on-5 with the delayed penalty, and so I count that as a power play goal. and it was 2-2 after 2. In the third period, Owen Addis, assisted by Asher Knight. And that was the only goal of the third period, and that's how things wound up. 3-2 for the Smoky Mountain Wild, and they capture third place of the Miami Valley Freeze tournament. So let's look over things, and we'll have a let's calculate a 3 stars for this game and figure things out here, folks. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. I'll give the number 3 star of the game to Hayden Drake of the Beavers. He scored one of the Beaver goals and then played tough defense all through the afternoon. So Hayden Drake will give our number 3 star of the game. Number 2 star of the game, we'll give that to Owen Addis. As Owen scored the game-winning goal of the contest. And the number 1 star of the game, we'll give that to Smoky Mountain's Asher Knight. Asher scored a goal and assisted on a goal. So 2 points for Asher Knight for the game. The hard hat, and we're going to give the hard hat to Zarek Luster for he's the injured player that was taken on a gurney off the ice after being down on the ice for what seemed like almost a half hour. It's probably at least 20 minutes. And he was taken off the gurney to the hospital. And again, the last word we got was from Wild spectator, Wild Dad, David Rasegi, who said that that Zarek is at the hospital waiting to see a doctor, and but he seemed to be doing well right now. So all the best to Zarek Luster. We hope he has a full recovery and gets back on the ice for the Wild. And we'll give him the hard hat of the night for certainly taking the that, of course, there was a penalty on that play as he was hit hard, and but hopefully is going to be fine is the last word we got. So all right, folks, well, with the win today, the Smoky Mountain Wild moved their record to 3 wins, 18 losses, 1 tie. With the loss, the Beaver Creek Beavers dropped to 2 wins, 10 losses, and 2 ties. The winning goalkeeper once again in relief is Sam Cessna. Losing goaltender in relief was Gabe Horseman. And we'll recap again of this wild, crazy game. We had a player go to the hospital. We had the Wild goaltender ejected from the game. We had the Beavers high scorer ejected from the game. We had, I think, 3 different major penalties in the game. So one of the craziest, strangest games that we've had all season long. So any extra chats or anything?
Nope, that was it.
That's it? Okay. Well, hey, I just want to say thank you to all of the folks watching, whether you're a Beaver fan or a Wild fan. I always like to hear from our visiting fans as well, so nice to hear from a lot of Wild fans today, and always to our Beaver fans who are always with us. So we also, and I always forget to do this, but Merry Christmas, everybody. I always forget the holidays, and then later on I think, oh crap, I forgot to say Happy Thanksgiving or Happy New Year or Merry Christmas. Finally remember. So Merry Christmas, everybody. I appreciate you watching. Dave, when are we've got the alumni game on the 26th.
Yes.
So on December 26th, we'll be back with you for the Beaver Creek alumni game. And then, do you know what our next game is after that? Saturday the 28th in Springfield against the club team called the Blue Devils. Are they from Toledo? From the Toledo area. That's called Springfield Blue Devils, but they're from Toledo, right? They're not actually from Springfield. And I think they do that just to trick us. There's a Springfield High in Toledo, and yeah, so the 28th, what time is that? So the 28th, at what time? 3:10, and on Saturday? Okay, and that's in Springfield, right? Is that in Springfield? Okay, so our next broadcast will be the alumni game from Kettering Ice Arena on the 26th. I think it's at 5 o'clock. And then our next Beaver official game is the 28th at 3:10. And that'll be from the National Trails Chiller in Springfield. So, again, thanks everybody for joining us. Shout out to Mike Scott, our videographer, and our producer-engineer, Dave Vandenboss. I'm Kent Jacobs. Again, the final score in the third place game for the Miami Valley Freeze Tournament, the Smoky Mountain Wild 3 and the Beaver Creek Beavers 2. So until day after Christmas, Merry Christmas, everybody, and we'll see you then. Have a good afternoon, everyone, from the Hobart Arena in Troy. Good afternoon, everyone.